Hey, we're getting near the end of February, and Bones and I happen to have a Patreon where we have a bunch of new, not backer rewards, like patron rewards that will begin in March, provided that we have enough people. So if you're interested in something like a critique stream of your art, or a game stream where you can play games and draw with me and Bones live, or a movie night with us. If you're interested in any of that stuff, there's more stuff on the Patreon if you go take a look at it. You gotta sign up before the end of February so that you can get in on these rewards in March. So go check it out. There should be a link in the description down below. Okay, on to the video. Also, thank you very much if you do decide to support us on there. That's real sweet of you. Okay, actually on to the video. So, last week, I was able to finish all of the thumbnails that I could do on camera. I fixed up all those sweet little boring thumbnails that I had. Not boring ones. Like, Bones went through them, he found some mistakes, and I went and fixed them up. I think I did them on a stream. And then, on like Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere around there, I had a little extra time in the evening, so I sat down and I finished the thumbnails that I had to do off camera, because they're spoilery. And I got them done. I showed them to Bones. He whispered to me, "Move on to the colors," and I screamed because I was so excited. So here we are, we're actually working on colors for the thumbnails. I'm so excited. It's like a brand new step, finally. So yeah, I'm very excited and energetic. I'm wondering how long I'll be able to keep it up though, because this took a long time. It took longer than I thought it would. I was expecting each thumbnail to maybe take like 10 minutes. Just doing 3 pages took like 40 minutes. Dang. Oof. Okay, but hopefully it'll get easier as I go on. The thing too is, like, I already have the colors picked out for all of my thumbnails, because I have the palettes for the characters that are involved in the scene, which only need some minor tweaks depending on, like, the lighting and the mood. And then I also have the colors for the scenery and the mood that I already did in my mock-ups from, like, when I was doing all that prep of scenery. So, like, you think I have all the colors, it should be easy to just throw them down and have a really nice color thumbnail, but no. Takes forever because I have to really think about it. It's just new thumbnails where you still have to really think and be like, okay, does this work for the composition? Where's the lighting supposed to hit? Like, what do I want to highlight in this panel? It's hard, man. More thinky thinks for my little brain. But it's fun. I really enjoyed it. When I had to stop, I was like, I don't want to stop, but I had other things to do yesterday. Yeah, but it's really fun. I also, as I was going through these, I started to realize, like, these colors don't work for every panel, which makes sense, because, like, depending on if the panel is, like, a call-out, or, like, it's supposed to be funny, or supposed to be, you know, like, intense, like, the color can change drastically. At least that's a decision Bones and I made for 9 Point. For example, in the first issue, we have a panel where, like, one of the characters, Penny, is, like, exploding with anger at someone, and the whole panel turns, like, all red and pink, instead of using her natural colors. So, yeah, so we want to be able to do things like that, and I used that a little bit in the first few pages here. There's, like, a panel where Ember grabs Marble by the tail, and I wanted, like, it to be really shocked, so I made it very, like, colorful and not, like, true colors to their palettes or whatever. But yeah, but also just going through the panels that have, like, the more natural vibe, where I am pulling colors from, like, all my prep work. I still have to adjust them depending on the mood or the lighting, where it's like, okay, like, there's one point where I was looking through and I was like, all these colors kind of have the same value. Like, there's nothing that's really standing out here, and at least there's no colors that I can use to make, like, the main focal point stand out. So I had to go in and change some things and maybe lighten up Marble's colors a little bit, or I had to maybe darken the background a little bit to make it a bit more eerie or spooky or ominous. I also threw in a little bit of shadow, just to, like, highlight it for myself of, like, okay, you know, Marble's in the foreground, I want him to have a little shadow on his face, because it brings attention to where I want it to, it fits the mood, it makes it seem, like, ominous. Also, if you have things that are, like, super in the foreground and you want to focus on something in the background, make the foreground really dark and the background bright where you want the focus to be. So, yeah. So I had to think about all this stuff as I was coloring through it. I remember in my first pass of, or not my first pass, but, like, when I first did color thumbnails for, like, the first time ever with the first issue of 9 Point, I didn't even like block in the characters' colors. I blocked in all of the background colors, and all those values and stuff. And then I would just like squiggle in the main characters with just like a single color. Because I was like, I already have their palettes figured out. It won't matter. But it's like, yes, it does. It does matter. Because when I actually sat down to make those pages, I was like, oh shoot, this character's color palette doesn't match the scene exactly. So I have to go in and edit their colors. And again, it changes from panel to panel too. So I was like, shoot, this time I really need to consider the characters' colors and how they're affected by the atmosphere. So yeah, when you're doing these, should you decide to do them, and I highly recommend you do, because it'll save you trouble later. Make sure to put the character colors in, make sure to consider the lighting, and the values, and the contrast. I'm also just really excited, because this is really cool stuff. This is like why I like comics, and why I like making them, because you just get to like experience cool stuff like this, where you're like, I get to tell a story with colors! Like, literally convey the emotions with color choices and lighting choices. Isn't that so cool? I'm nerding out here. But yeah, as I was going through these colors, I kind of realized that like the colors I'd chosen for the first page, because when I was prepping the scenery for scene 1, which is like a forest path, in the first page it's supposed to feel kind of ominous because Marble's being followed by some people, and so the colors I chose were really dark and kind of ominous, but they only really work for like the first page where there's this like sense of suspense before like the reveal of what's going on happens. So I was like, wow, these colors really fit for the first page, but they don't really fit after that. So I was like, shoot, I have to go and fix these colors and change them around depending on the page. So I'm curious how this will apply to the rest of my scenes, because there's a few scenes and they all have different color palettes, and I'm like, how will these change? This is fun. I'm excited. Yeah, like I said, it took a while. Just because you have to sit and really consider and try something, and then go over it again. And yeah, and it definitely helped to add in shadows and really make sure that my contrast and values were in the right place, like making sure like, okay, let's have, this shadow point towards Marble so that like the eye follows the shadow and then goes to him, or like let's highlight the characters in the trees, like give them a brighter background behind them, like they're in silhouette because we don't want to reveal who they are right away, but like, brighten up a bit around them so that they don't blend into the background. Or there was like a panel with Ember where I had a bunch of shadows behind him, and then realized that like the dark part of his vest would blend in with the shadow, so I had to lighten up the background behind him. And it's nice because at this stage it does take a long time because I am doing a lot of thinking and like rearranging, but when I get to the actual page I'll have the exact color I need, and I won't have to get there and then be like, oh no, Ember blends into the background, what do I do? So yeah, it's really good to just start as like low fidelity as possible, so that you can make these changes quickly before you commit to them. And I don't even know if these are like the way that they'll be in the final version, because I still have to show them to Bones and see if they line up with what he wants. There's always feedback sessions, especially this early on, which is great, because we'll catch mistakes, we'll fix things. I'm really proud of the changes that I made to the thumbnails after Bones was like, these are kind of boring, make them better. And I think I did. So I'm proud of myself for doing that. But yeah, it really helped to just sit back, look at other comics, see what other people are doing, read up on my fundamentals about composition, and I'm really happy with what I have. And a lot of these pages are going to be really fun, because I was looking back at them after I finished them, and I was like, oh, these are, like, some of these are really funny. Like, they're really low fidelity, just like squiggles and stuff and smiley faces, but I can still tell the action that's going on, and some of them are funny, and some of them are cute and sad, and I'm really excited. It's so cool. This comic is coming together. The prep work takes so long, and then I feel like at the end it all like speeds up really quick. But I guess that's really good, so that you're not spending forever on the final page, and then you submit it for people to read, and then you find mistakes in it later. Fado was eating a plastic he found on the floor, because he's my recording buddy. He always follows me to the recording space. So yeah, that is my first attempt at the color thumbnails. I'm really excited, if you couldn't tell. So excited. Okay, you know that feeling when you're like really happy or really excited? Okay, maybe it's just me, but it feels like a laugh is trying to come out, and you just feel it like in your chest, in your throat, and it's just like, yeah, That's where I'm at right now. I'm full of happiness. I'm bursting with happiness and excitement. This week has been pretty good. I got a lot of footage recorded early on, and part of that was because Bones made me sit down and work, because we haven't had too much going on during the week. We haven't had any, like, big errands we needed to run in the evening. There weren't any vet appointments or anything like that. So I'd get home, and when I get off work, I'm still pretty, like, full of energy and ready to, like, do things and get things done. So I kept getting home, and then, like, there'd be nothing to do, but I'd still be, like, full of energy and, like, running around, and Bones was like, please, sit down. Stop. So he was like, go work on your art. And I was like, but there's other things that I probably need to do, right? Like cleaning or something? And he's like, no, just go do your art. So he made me sit down, and I recorded, like, all the footage that I needed for this week really early. So that was really nice. I had a lot of downtime at the end of the week. My work on Friday, it's been a fun week. My work on Friday took us all tubing. It was like a team building exercise. I don't know how it built teams, but it was fun and it was nice. And I think people at work were really stressed, and so our boss wanted us all to chill out. So they took us to, like, a winter tubing park where it's like, if you've never heard of that or seen what it is, it's just like these big ramps of, like, ice and snow, and you sit in a little, like, they look like those, like, floaty rings that you use in a pool, but they're, like, built for winter. And so you sit in one of those, and then you slide down the hill. And that's what it is. It's like skiing or snowboarding, but you don't have to have balance, and children can do it. So, yeah, so we went. It was really fun. I discovered I'm a super old lady because even just going down, I hurt myself. They have, like, at the bottom of the slope, because, like, the slope is all ice, so that you go really fast, but they have to slow you down at the end so you don't go flying into the parking lot, or into a wall or a fence or something. So they have, like, rubber mats at the bottom so that it'll, like, catch the bottom of your tube and slow you down, and then they have, like, these, like, padded, like, barricades at the bottom that you hit into. So what happened was I I hit the mats really hard, and, like, it bruised my tailbone, like, bruised my butt, and then I hit really hard into the back. Sorry, I keep clicking my necklace. And then I hit really hard into the barricade into my back, so I, like, hurt my neck muscles and my back and my butt, and I was like, I'm just too old for this. And there's one ride that I went on where I went with the other designer who works there, and because when you hit into the barricades at the bottom, like, sometimes they get pushed around, and they have, like, people who work at this place who will, like, put the barricades back in place so that the next person doesn't go flying through. Well, we went down a hill, and they hadn't put the middle barricade back in place, so there's a big gaping hole in the middle of this barricade, and we were like, should we wait for that to be put back in place? And the guy who was, like, who'd push you down the hill, who works there, he was like, oh no, it'll be fine, you'll just hit the side. We were like, okay. And he pushed us down together, and we threaded the needle. We went right through the middle and hit into the back wall really hard. It's the worst. So after that I was like, I'm done. I hurt everywhere. But it was fun, and it was a nice way to end the week. We went on Friday afternoon. And yeah, and now I'm on a very long weekend. I took some vacation days because Monday is my engagement anniversary with Bones, where we will celebrate, as we call it, Shitty Christmas, which is it's basically our anniversary. I have a video about our love origin story, where I mentioned where we got engaged, where we did, like, a second Christmas, because during actual Christmas we didn't have any money. So we, in February, when we had money again, we did a little Christmas celebration where we bought lots of gifts for each other and the pets. And then Bones proposed to me. So now it's our engagement anniversary, and we do a little Christmas celebration. So that is on Monday, and I took some time off so that we could do our little Christmas thing, and I'm excited. It's gonna be really nice. I feel very chill this weekend and very excited and happy about things. Though poor Bones has a dentist appointment on Monday morning, which is good and bad. It's bad because dentist appointments are never fun, but it's good because he's got tooth pain and hopefully they can figure it out. Fado has another plastic. How did you get it? Bones and I have been excited about upcoming projects and things. We did a business meeting together, which we haven't done a lot recently, but usually we'll have a little sit down where we talk about like, okay, here are the major deadlines coming up. Here's like the plans for the year, the next few months, where it's like, okay, here are the cons we have lined up. Let's make sure we're prepared for those. Here's like, so we want to run a Kickstarter. Like, this is when it's going to happen. Let's make sure we have all our ducks in a row for that. So we haven't done that recently just because things have been crazy and busy. But on Friday night, we went out to a cafe near us and we just sat down and we talked about business and exciting projects coming up. It was really nice. And it's just nice because it makes sure that we're like lined up with what we're doing. Because sometimes we get so busy where I'm like, Bones, what are you even working on? Or like, he'll be like, oh, we have this thing that you need to do for the end of the month. And I'll be like, okay. So yeah, but it's exciting. It gets us aligned and it makes sure we're organized. So if you work with a creative partner, it's good to just sit down and write out your to-do list. Usually we have a calendar out and some papers to write everything down. We make checklists because that helps us out a lot. But yeah, it's just really nice to do. It gets me excited about what I'm working on. And we plan to do more because we had this big long list and we got through part of it. And then we were like, oh no, we have to go back and do our Friday game stream. So we ran home and we were late. Oops. It's because we were so into business, guys. So so we still have like 6 more items we need to go through. I think we made it through 2. So we have 6 more things we really need to talk about. And we'll do another business meeting soon because we have a nice long weekend to just hang out and talk comics. I've also discovered that so I'm having a lot of fun with comics right now. I think it's really exciting to start on a new thing, and we've got new projects coming up, which is always really exciting to me. I really like the novelty of just new stuff. Who doesn't? I'm also getting really close to having all my Magpie pages done for volume 3, which is really exciting. It's still a long ways off, but I'm instead of 60 pages, I only have 30 pages, and that's really cool. I'm halfway there. But I've noticed that despite being super excited, whenever I don't have my tablet out and set up, it's really hard to start. And sometimes all I need to do is turn around to my workstation, plug in my tablet, and then I can start drawing. But even just that, it just feels so hard to get it done. So I've been very, very grateful to have Bones who's get to work. He'll waggle his finger at me until I get to work and stop putting it off and stop just watching YouTube and whatever it is. If you're ever having trouble, just get someone to make you start working. Because as soon as I start drawing stuff, I'm into it, and then I don't want to stop. That happened yesterday. I made new icons for me and Bones because he still had an old Christmas one, and I just had a picture of Fado as my picture for a while. So I was like, oh, we need new cute art icons. And so I had my tablet out. I was working on the thumbnails, and then I was like, how about I just sit and draw the icons? It'll take 20 minutes, and it did. And there we go. So just start drawing, you won't want to stop. So I think I've gone on long enough, I think. I have lots more to talk about. I'm here for this. I'm excited about art, but I think I'll save it for the next vlog, and I'm sure I'll have more to talk about. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. Like I said at the top of this video, go check out our Patreon. We've got a lot of cool stuff that I'm really excited to do. The thing is, we need to know if people are interested before we can do this, because it's gonna be a lot of work on our end to set up more streams and rearrange things. So we just I think I'm a little nervous that I don't want to play this to an empty room. So yeah, if you are interested, go sign up. I think it's just it's $1 to $10 or something, and then there's bigger things as they get more expensive. But yeah, if you're interested, please let us know by signing up, and we really appreciate your support because that's really sweet and kind of you. And yeah, also I should probably start saying this for every video so people actually hear about this. So we've chosen a day for our 24-hour stream. We are going to do 24 comic pages in 24 hours, and we're going to stream the whole thing. So we're going to do that on March 30th, which is coming up next month. So put it in your calendars because we're going to be streaming that. We're still figuring out the details on where we're going to stream it and how we're going to stream it. But March 30th, 24 hours. Check it out. You can pop in. Okay, that is all I have. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you guys next time. And go do your thumbnails and your prep work because it's good for you. Okay, goodbye.